What's going on, everybody? We're finna get ready to get this show started in just a bit. As you can see on the graphic, we're going to be talking about my truth season predictions. I'm just going to do something real quick on this one, and then definitely talk about it. So let's get this show started.
Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody?
What's going on, Titan Nation? Welcome into a quick TNT tonight. Doing season predictions real fast on this show. Definitely wanted to give my season predictions before we do get into the regular season. And so basically, make sure y'all share this out to everybody. Let everybody know where they can come on in and definitely follow, whether you be on Facebook at TNT Enforcers, on X at TNT Blue Enforcer, or on Instagram at Titans_in_truth. Definitely do appreciate everybody coming in and being a part of the show. But I just wanted to come on and give my season predictions and also let y'all know, teasing that on Thursday night, not Wednesday night, because I have to work my other job. But on Thursday night, about 6 p.m., we'll go live to talk about the Titans' first game of the year, upcoming game of the year against the Chicago Bears. We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to talk about the Titans and the Bears, and we're going to give I'll start with my first time this year, giving my 4 points to victory. Blue Enforcers 4 points to victory, how the Titans can beat the Bears and get off to a 1-0 start. So we're definitely going to get into the Bears more on Thursday night. And then, of course, we're going to quickly talk about the games that are going to be kicking off on Thursday and Friday. Ravens Chiefs Thursday night, and then of course Packers Eagles on Friday night. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thursday night, 6 p.m. Get ready for that. Make sure everybody go ahead and like the show. Definitely give a like to the show, and then also go ahead and subscribe to the show as well. And definitely follow me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, or Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. I know sometimes my episodes don't always get on there because sometimes I'm a little behind getting them there. I apologize for that, but definitely, if all else, make sure y'all stick to YouTube as well. And so let's get right into the show. But we're here to talk about season predictions and what do I think the Titans are going to do this season. And I definitely do have confidence that the Titans can definitely do some damage. They could definitely do some very good things this season that I think I'm looking forward to. But there's a lot that's going to be happen. There's a lot of new transition with this team, with of course Brian Callahan taking over from Mike Vrabel, and also with all of the overhauling, that we have done this season. It's going to make for a very, very interesting season because we're heading into brand new territory. Somewhere we haven't been before. We haven't been in this position with a new coach with an entirely brand new philosophy that is something that we haven't heard of, because normally we're used to running the football, giving it to Derrick Henry all the time, or giving it to Eddie George all the time, and things like that. But this is going to be different. And I know Brian Callahan has mentioned that they still want to run the football and be more consistent at doing that. But we know they're going to be trying to pass the ball a lot more. They're going to be using the pass to set up the run instead of the run setting up the pass. So we know that that's kind of where they're going to be going with that. And I do like that. I'm very excited about that. And this is going to something that's going to be very, very interesting. Now, here is the Titans schedule that they have coming out. Of course, we start off with the Bears. Week 1, we got the Jets. We got some very interesting games coming. The first 4 weeks is not going to be easy. I definitely am looking forward to that Packers game week 3. I think that's going to be a good litmus test for us. And then also, of course, later in the week on the road, Buffalo and Detroit on the road. Those are going to be a couple of tough games to really see where we are as a team. And then, of course, our division games, we got a couple against Houston. We got a couple against the Jaguars and, of course, Indianapolis. That Cincinnati game is also going to be very interesting because that'll be Callahan going up against his former team. So that's something else that's going to be worth looking forward to as well. So going into my predictions, where do we have this team finishing? And make sure y'all leave your comments for me. What is your record prediction? Where do you think the Titans are going to finish? I've heard some, like I was listening to Sports Fan Entertainment, MJ, yesterday. He has the Titans going 9-8, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 9-8 or 8-9. But he has them right around the 8-9 win mark. I am going to be making my bet this week because I know they had the over-under at 6.5. I might go over 7.5, but I think I'm going to definitely take that 6.5 bet, definitely. And I may even put in a bet of going over, 8.5. I think they could win 9 games at least. So I definitely do like that. Where do I have the Titans finishing? I have the Titans finishing 10-7. Now, I know I probably sound a lot more confident and a lot more optimistic than a lot of other people do because I've heard a lot of national media. I've heard a lot of other people, on podcast or on, ESPN or NFL Network. A lot of them don't have the Titans winning 4, 5, maybe 6 games, maybe 7, anywhere between like 4 and 7 games. That's where mostly a lot of people have us finishing. And I'm thinking that's utterly ridiculous. I mean, I can almost see maybe 7 if we struggle at some point, especially with injuries, but we're not going to be no 4-13. We're not going to be no 5-12 or 6-11. 7-10, okay, with injuries, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But we're definitely going to find out what this team is made of because there are some depth issues that they're going to have to try to find a way to work out. But I think this team has a chance to go 10-7. This is the ceiling. Now, if they go 9-8, I would not be surprised. I was kind of struggling with it. I was kind of between 9-8 and 10-7. I was right there on that cusp, but I kind of went up a little bit. I try to think up. So that's why I give it a 10-7. Looking at the schedule, this is why I got them going 10-7. I have them opening up with a victory in Chicago. We'll talk more about that on Thursday. I have them beating the Jets. And also, let me preface this. This is subject to change. So as week to week goes on, I may have a team win. I may have the team winning here, and I could change and say they might lose this game during the season. So again, this is my initial prediction. So I got them beating the Bears week 1, Jets week 2. I have them falling to Green Bay in week 3. I have them beating the Dolphins at week 4. So I have them 3-1 going into the bye. Then they come out and beat Indianapolis. So I have them at 4-1. They're riding high. But then a little tough road, it gets a little dicey. Buffalo and Detroit, I think they struggle on the road in both of those games. Buffalo definitely could be a struggle. Detroit, I think that one is a fun game. I think that one could end up becoming more of a toss-up later. I think that's just going to be a really fun game to watch between those two. They come back home. I think they win 3 in a row. They get New England, the Chargers, and the Vikings. Then they fall to Houston, and they really start picking up speed. Then they come back. They lose to Houston, but they go to Washington and get a win. But then this is where another problem in the road is going to be. I have them losing 3 straight. Losing to Jacksonville, losing to Cincinnati, losing to Indianapolis. I think they split with Indianapolis. I think they split with Jacksonville with a victory in week 17. This was the one I had a little bit of issue with. Week 18 against Houston. By then, is Houston already wrapped up the division? Are they resting guys? Or is this a battle for the division title? If they're resting guys, I think the Titans win this game. If everybody's playing, this could be a tough one, but it is at home. And so I do like that home crowd feel. And so, again, and that's why I have them beating the Jets, because I think once they get this victory in Chicago, first home game, the fans are going to be loud. They're going to be pumped. They're going to be excited, momentum building off of that. And that's where I think they can kind of get rolling a bit. So that is my prediction. 10-7 for the Tennessee Titans, but I would not be shocked if it's 9-8. So I could definitely see a 9-8, but I'm going 10-7. So let me know in the comments what your record prediction is going to be. What do you think they finish at in the comments below? As for Will Levis, because I know that's the next question, this is what I predict. He will become this franchise's first 4,000-yard passer. I just don't think it happens yet. But I do think with a full season of 17 games instead of 9, he had 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 9 games. So if he has a full season, maybe he finishes with 16-8, mainly because Derrick Henry was taking up a lot of that. But I do think Will Levis, and he had about 1,800 yards, I want to say. So he might have been halfway to about 3,600. I'm going to say Will Levis throws for about 3,825 yards this year. 3,825 yards. I think he gets 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I think that's a pretty fair number for him. I do, again, think he will be our first 4,000-yard passer, but not this year. Not just yet, in my honest opinion. But I do think he's going to be well on his way to doing just that. And I do believe we will have a 1,000-yard receiver. I think it's going to be very possible we have 2 1,000-yard receivers. I think both Hopkins and Ridley will each have over 1,000 yards. I think Tyler Boyd will get around 700. So, I mean, that's, about 2,700 yards. And then that's about another 1,100 yards between everybody else. Maybe, I'd say about 300-400 yards with Pollard, maybe 300-400 yards with Spears out of the backfield. You got to picture Chig, into this. Chig and Wiley maybe into this. Burks might get a little bit. NWI. There's a lot of balls that's going to have to go around. But I think Will Levis gets 3,800 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. These are, and now let's go on the offensive side of the ball. And this is where they finished last year as far as stats. Where do they finish as far as total offense, passing yards, running the football, and scoring points? Titans offensively were not very good at that. They were finished 28th in total offense, 29th in passing, 17th in running the ball, and 27th in scoring points. But I am optimistic, and I do believe the Titans are heading up. I think they're heading on an upward trajectory, and I just think my prediction for the offense, I think they end up finishing somewhere in the middle of the pack offensively. I think they finish between like 12th and 17th, but I will say my ultimate goal is them finishing in the top 15 offensively. I think, again, I think from 29th, I think they're going to get up to maybe I think they're definitely going to get up a little bit higher offensively, especially if the offensive line holds up. I can see them getting up to around, 14, I say around 15, 14, 13. Running the ball from 17, I can see them staying kind of where they are with that. Maybe get, around 17 to 18. Total offense, I think, goes up from 28, maybe get into the 20s or into the mid-teens, I think. Scoring-wise, I think they definitely go from 27 to about 20. But I think they're at least going to be in the middle of the pack, mid-teens, in my honest opinion. Top 15, I think, is where I have them finishing. Defensively, they were not bad. They were not bad despite injuries. And things that were happening and, and things with our secondary and all that kind of stuff too. They finished 18th defensively, 18th against the pass, 13th against the run, 16th best scoring defense. And now you bring in Denard Wilson, who is very aggressive, an attacking defense. And we know the Baltimore Ravens had one of the better defenses in the league. And now you got Big Jeff, you got Devondre Sweat, you got, you just got Ernest Jones in a trade. You got Snead and Awuzie. And so it's really going to come down to injury. But I have high expectations for this defense. This defense will be a top 10 defense. And I think they're going to be top 15 in every category. I think this defense has the potential to really be one of the very best if all goes well. I think Big Jeff and Tavon and Sweat, they are going to be a problem. They are going to be very tough to block. And then you, excuse me, and then you got Harold Landry coming off the edge. I like Jalen Harrell and Caleb Murphy as depth, but Arden Key is going to have to step up because he seemed like he's only a situational pass rusher, and I need him to be an every down pass rusher. That's going to be the key. I feel so much better about the linebacker room with Ernest Jones next to Kenneth Murray than Jack Gibbons. Now, on the unofficial depth chart, right now they have Jack Gibbons starting. I don't think that's going to last very long, everybody. Y'all can give me your thoughts on that. I know some people, will think, start with Gibbons first, let him ease into it. But I think Ernest Jones is going to be starting Sunday, without a doubt. He's definitely going to play a lot. And I really think this defense has a chance to be really good. I feel much better about that linebacker room. Cornerbacks, we only have 4 corners, but I think they've brought in some more on the practice squad. And so now, you got to just hope that there's no injuries or anything like that. So that's something that we got to be mindful of. But with Snead, Awuzie, and Roger McCreary, this is going to be nice. It's going to be nice. And they're going to get tested early in week 1 because the Bears do have a very good receiving core with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and now Rome Odunze. So that's going to be very interesting. We'll talk about that more on Thursday. Safeties is maybe a little bit of a concern, but I do feel better with Amani Hooker and Quandre Diggs, and then you still got Jamal Adams. And even though Elijah Molden got traded and everything, but I do like the safety room as well. So again, I think this defense has a chance to be a top 10 defense. Dare I say, be crazy to think they could even maybe make the top 5, but I'm going to say top 10. I think they improve, and they're going to be a top 10 defense in my honest opinion. But again, those are some of my predictions. Again, I want to show y'all this. This was back in April around the draft. The Tennessee Titans were only given a 5% chance to win this division. I'm going to have that burn it in the memory because I think the Tennessee Titans have a chance to do way better than that. Everybody's drinking the Houston Texan Kool-Aid right now and just think the Houston Texans are all that in a bag of chips. And again, it's always been said, it's easy to go from 3 wins to 9 or 10 wins. It's easy to make that jump. It's hard to go from, say, 10-7 to 11-6, 12-5, 13-4. It's a whole lot more difficult to do that. And that is exactly what the Texans are going to face going into this season. They have a lot of high expectations. A lot of eyes are on them. You know, we've seen this many times before where you have the media darling, the team that everybody is so in love with, and then they come out and they disappoint. I mean, we did that to Cleveland a few years back. Everybody was talking about Cleveland. Everybody was talking about, and they got Nick Chubb, they got David Njoku, they got Odell Beckham, they got I don't think Amari Cooper, Jarvis Landry. Amari Cooper wasn't on the team at that time. They had all this. They got that defense, Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. They had all this great defense. We came out and spanked the Browns in the mouth week 1. So don't read too much into that. But it's going to be a very interesting season, to say the least. Again, I got the Titans going 10-7. Will Levis throwing for over 3,800 yards, 31 touchdowns. Also have the Titans offense finishing middle of the pack. I have the defense finishing in the top 10. So y'all, let me know what you think. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Give me your predictions. Where do you think the Titans are going to finish in record? Where do you think how many yards do you think Will Levis is going to throw for? How many touchdowns? Where do you think the offense and defense finishes up at the end of the year? But again, definitely make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and like this channel if you haven't already. And definitely subscribe to the channel as well on Titans and Truth. Definitely look for a change in some stuff coming up. I'm definitely going to be doing that. And definitely make sure y'all follow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And definitely love y'all. See y'all Thursday night, 6 p.m. We're going to get into the Bears specifically and get ready for week 1. And so everybody, I thank y'all for tuning in to TNT Tonight, the season prediction. I am Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. And make sure y'all help me out. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I need your help to do that. Help me help you. And so I thank everybody, and at the end of the day, as we always say, tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.